Hello! Alien radio signal hunt tonight. So there, as the Earth rotates, our dish is going to sweep across the night sky, and it's going to pass over on various stars. Hopefully one of them is going to be inhabited and sending us a signal. If it does, hopefully we'll catch it on our screen tonight. Just have a quick drink. Ignore the background noise. I'm just printing something. It'll be off in a couple of minutes, and then it'll be lovely and peaceful. Oh. Let's get ourselves live across everywhere else. So, yes, if you're joining us, we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight. We are searching the hydrogen line, that is that yellow line at the top of the screen, and it is the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorize we are most likely to hear a message from ET, should they be out there, and should they be sending us a signal. Rio's already in there, Zena's in as well. Like that, guys. It's a race, and you guys are winning. How are we all doing? How's your Sundays? And if you're joining us, say we are doing an alien radio signal hunt. Look, we've got no background noise tonight. Nothing's changed. The electronics in the room haven't changed. So why are we not getting those signals in tonight? So there we go. Hello, Carl. How are you doing? So yeah, look, it seems to be pretty quiet there tonight, but saying that, we haven't got those close by stars in range again, have we? So Sirius, Mirzam, Adara, and some of the others are going to be coming in range probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so there. And let's monitor the background, see if that changes things for it there as well. We're all good, Rio, we're all good. Alan's just shaking his head. He said he's not good, but he's just putting it on. Ignore Alan there. Carl as well, thank you for the gifts, appreciate that. All goes back into the stream there, and thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
That cheered him up. Right there, how you doing? A up as well. And Kate, how are you doing? Good to see you. No spikes, exactly. The A up, and Rio as well, thank you for those likes and those shares. So they do help us reach more and more like-minded people, and the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena there, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. And Paul's in, over on the purple one. How are you doing, Paul? His weekend's going right. Been kicked off your saucer there, Zena. What's that? All your cans everywhere. Of course we're interested there. Gonna chill. Where are we doing today? I wonder if the solar flare was the... Oh, you know what? There's got to be some sort of correlation, and a solar flare would be a good argument, because that's going to be wide, isn't it? It's going to be non-directional. Well, actually, a solar flare is quite directional, but generally enough for us here on the Earth. That could be that generalised thing that where, with the Earth's rotation, that we wasn't seeing that decrease in the signal. So maybe that could be a very good call there, A up as well. And it is a very curious there. And now you're over there. You're like a magician. And now I'm over here. And now I'm over there. And guys, if you're just joining us, I say we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt. So we're using what's called software-defined radio, and that is the receiver part there, and it's attached to a very large dish out there in my garden. And as the Earth rotates, it's going to sweep across the night sky, passing over various stars as the night goes on there. And hopefully one of those stars is going to be have a planet that is inhabited by life and will be sending us a signal, and if so, there it will be on our screen for between only 30 and 90 seconds there, depending on the distance. That will define how long it's there, but you've got to imagine it's that Earth rotation is going to sweep on, and because it's quite far away, the small target there of a whole planet, so it's only going to be over it for a few seconds there, so we're going to keep an eye out. It's a bit of a right place at right time. You never know where those signals are going to be coming from, picking the right stars, but also when they may be sending them. They are unlikely to be sent all of the time there, because they are so energy intensive. So yeah, it's going to be a right place, right time. So therefore, statistically, the more we do it, the more we check the same patch of the sky, the more we increase our odds of those detections. But they are quite rare, although getting less rare. So it used to be a case that there'd be one every couple of decades there, an anomalous radio signal that scientists couldn't write off as being earthbound there, like the WOW signal that everybody's heard about back from the 1970s there. But as the decades have gone on, they've become every decade, and now multiple times per decade. And in fact, I think maybe where our technology is getting so sensitive now, we are hearing multiple potential ones per year. The difficulty is actually locking them in, proving that they are 100% extraterrestrial in origin, but they definitely don't look Earth-based as well. There, Carl as well, thank you for the heart there, and Paul and Kate,
thank you for the alien pets.
Thank you for feeding Alan there, and the other gifts. They will go back in to the stream there, and the shares as well. How are you doing, guys there? It's the only way I can teleport in 2026, by being early to the stream there. And Agent is in. How are we doing, matey? And oh, just interviewed the guy, D-Max just interviewed the guy who operated the missile base, which was shut down. Oh, very interesting. Now, that is one of those cases, isn't it, that you go, if it's not bloody aliens, what the hell is going on? What is the more mainstream answer to that that holds up to scrutiny? Because multiple nuclear missile silos there in the US and I think in the Ukraine, but I think generally speaking, they have had lots of UFO sightings over there. There multiple agents have reported them, and it's happened on multiple occasions there. So it's a very strange. Those systems are designed to be protected and to not go down. The staff that operate them are, again, very heavily vetted there for psychological issues and all that sort of stuff. So it's very unlikely, isn't it, to be anything. If they say it looks like aliens, I mean, I'm inclined to believe it there. And he was the chief of the base when it happened. Again, these people, you don't get into that position, do you, without being very credible, having a long track record there. So, I mean, that is very interesting to me. There we go. Then my print is done now, so it'll be a little bit quieter in the background. So I think, yeah, those ones are very, very interesting. And for me, it's not just where they're shutting the missiles down, because there is at least one report, isn't there? And I think this was the Russian missile silo that's based in Ukraine there during the Cold War, actually reported that they turned the damn missiles on. So is this just ET saying, hey, look, we've got the technology, we can turn them off, stop playing with matches, kids? Or are they probing? Are they trying to understand our technology a little bit more for a different purpose? Are they experimenting, or are they trying to turn it on? Maybe they want to set something off. Maybe they want us to wipe each other out and leave the land for them. We never know. Bougie, hello, and thank you for the heart there. And did you see the video of the light ball on NASA's feed before they Yes, somebody did share that one to me. So that was very interesting. Live feed there. Was it from the ISS? Looking down on the Earth. And just normal video there looking at the beauty of the Earth from above. But there was quite clearly an illuminated object. It didn't look like it was reflecting. It did look like it was emitting its own life there, going down into our atmosphere. What is the explanation for that? Are they going to keep calling that weather phenomena? Are they going to keep calling that ball lightning? Because for me, that answer is not really holding up there, is it there? Guys, if you're joining us, we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight there. So we're searching the skies, hoping to hear a message from an extraterrestrial civilization. Anomalous messages do come through every now and again. They're quite rare, and it's a case of right place, right time. But so the more we do this, the more we increase our statistical odds of detecting a signal that could be from ET. We're listening on a frequency called the hydrogen line, and that is the channel on the radio dial that most scientists think, if ET's out there and they're going to be sending a message, this is the channel, the frequency that you'll be most likely to hear that message on. It's where the WOW signal was heard back in the 1970s there, and multiple weird signals since there. So that's a good one, Kate. And Bougie, how are you there? And the orb with a year visible in it. No, not sort of the one with the year visible in it as well. Harko, good to see you there. Leanne as well, thank you for the gifts. And DJ, how are you doing?
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
There, Harko as well. Thank you for the gifts there, guys. Let me scroll up here. Let's get on top of my messages. Where are we? Let's get our way through here. It sounds very, very interesting, those ones there. You didn't... Oh, you've not seen that one. Oh, if it comes up again, I'll repost it because it's a very, very interesting video there. How you doing, Harko? As well, you're so close. You're one stamp away from your passport. Lindy as well, thank you for the roses. That's very kind to say we all put it back to the stream. And DJ is back in the room. Was getting worried about you. I hope you're all okay, you and the family. Have you had a chance to get out and play with your paranormal stuff yet? Have you gone on location? I want to hear how that is going. Let me see. It's already jumping ahead of me. Let me see where we are. Thank you for the shares, guys, and those likes. I see the tapping away. Appreciate that. So it does help us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we can get looking at the phenomena, sharing our experiences, the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. Stressed. Oh, man. I feel you there. Hopefully it will be resolved for you there, though. Is that to do with the new work stuff that was coming up for you there? And no, a life form would put a message on an orb for 3 frames we can't see. You never know. I mean, you never know. How you doing, Astra, as well? Good to see you in. So yeah, guys, we're searching on the hydrogen line. It's called the hydrogen line, the channel on the dial here, because it is the frequency that hydrogen naturally emits a radio signal as it decays, and because that is the most abundant molecule element that we have in our galaxy. It's a nice consistent channel there. So no matter where you are in our galaxy, you can tune in, and the hydrogen line is going to sound pretty similar. So it gives us, or gives scientists there, radio astronomers, a good good background, a good baseline for studying the universe and what is going on around it there. So it's always going to be very valuable for those purposes there, for those scientific purposes. And in fact, it's so visible, so important. You're not allowed to transmit on it here on Earth. We have a treaty to say, don't make technology that broadcasts on this frequency, therefore preserving this frequency band for that radio astronomical purpose. And because there will always be eyes and ears on this frequency, alien scientists are likely to be like that as well. They will know its benefits if they have radio technology, hence sending a message, and this is why they would put that message there, because it is the most likely place to have a message heard out of all of the thousands of frequencies. But we are searching for that very particular type of signal, which is a civilization there, reaching out, sending that message out to the unknown, hoping that there is another civilization out there to hear it. And good evening, Astra. Good to see you in there. Carl, loving the stickers as well. DJ, next week. I'm looking forward to that, to DJ as well there. And Kate, loving the stickers there as well. So how is everyone's weekend going as we're all settling in? I need to turn my printer off for a second so I don't get that interference coming through. But as you can hear, let me turn the music down. Hear that? That, guys, that is the cosmic microwave background. It's the same as the old static on your TV or when you're in between radio stations there. And that is, saying to what scientists think, is the leftovers of the Big Bang there. That early radio emission there that we're still picking up, which is quite cool to think that you can still listen to the Big Bang there. So very, very interesting indeed. But that is where we'd expect to hear the frequency. So you're all plugged in. If we do get that big spike on the screen, you will hear it as well come through there. It's unlikely to be a voice. It's not going to be glop glop from Zeta Reticuli there saying, hey guys, we're coming to invade you. It'll probably likely be a bleeps and bloops or some sort of weird sounds there, and it's probably going to be to the mathematics of the signal if we have a chance of decoding any message there. But it could be very interesting. I mean, just getting a message there from an extraterrestrial civilization, proven that it's a non-Earth based signal here, not coming from Earth, technological in nature, I think would be so awesome to get and finally knock that one out of the park. But there have been a number of interesting signals over the weeks there. Oh no, I'm going to have emails, CVs and calls to go through next week. Oh god, that's the worst part of anything there. I feel you for that one, DJ. Well, best of luck with it there. Alan will use his mind powers for you there. And I like Chris and Emily Bledsoe, but he feeds false narrative and scripts his messages to God is complex. I mean, yeah, I think people can be, coming from the right place. They might not be outright lying. I'm not saying particularly on Chris Bledsoe here, because I don't know too much there, but we all come, don't we, to the table with our own understandings of the world, our own interpretations there, our own biases and our own blind spots. So I think, definitely when you're receiving that information, you've got to always take it with a pinch of salt, I think. There. You're back! So I just realised I was partway through doing a TikTok. I feel you there, A-Up. Always good to see you there. The life of a coder, oh mate. The paperwork, getting in the way of actually doing the work is the worst part of those things there. So, DJ, you're a better man than me for persevering through that one. But guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from and how you feel about the UFO, the alien phenomena there. Are we wasting our time? Is there no life out there? Are we all alone in the universe? Or is life absolutely abundant and maybe it's visiting us somewhere in between? Let us know your thoughts on that. Also, any questions, ask away. There are no silly questions here, whether it's about what we're doing, how it all works, the history of it, or just the general UFO, UAP news as well. We'd love to hear about that whilst we're waiting for the action to come up on screen there, because it is a bit of a right place, a right time sort of deal. We never know when you're going to be over the right star and when they're sending the message. We're literally on the cusp of a really beautiful cluster in the Orion constellation. It's about to come in range of our dish. So if you're over on TikTok, you're seeing the vertical, which is the middle part of our analysis screen there. And at the very, very top, you've got those live radio signals coming in across all the different frequencies. So it's a dynamic image there, and you're seeing all those spikes across all the different channels there. And the yellow line is the line of interest for us at the top there. That is where we'd expect to see the alien message, where they've been in the past. And this middle section here is the analysis section. It's taking that same information and displaying it differently. It's displaying it in averages. So it's not all jumpy everywhere. You can kind of see patterns easier there. If it goes red, then it's of interest there. But there is a red box that pops up, so don't panic. And that is doing an extra layer of analysis. And behind me is the sky map, and it is showing you where our dish is pointing and what nearby stars are in range. So there's thousands of stars in range at the second. but they're all quite far away. And then it's the close by ones we have labelled, we have the information. But if you want to join us, see the full version there, the horizontal one at the Thing UFO and those places, so you can see a little bit more of the screen in a second. There we go. That's what the full screen looks like. So over to the left and to the right, and you can see more on the bottom there. We've actually got the waveform analysis of the sound coming in. So if we do get that audio signal coming in, we can analyse that live. And to the right, we have the information on the stars that are in range of our dish, those close by ones. So it'll be Mirzam will be coming in very shortly. And again, you can see that full sky map as well. See what stars are about to come in range of the dish. Lemonfest, hello. Welcome aboard. Where are you joining us from tonight? And guys, do make sure, if you're not already following us, make sure you do something like this every night. So last night, when it was a clear sky, we did a UFO UAP skywatch, and that's how much we see of the stars and all the stuff going on up there. If the moon's up as well, we do a moon watch there. See all the craters, all the details, talk about how beautiful but weird the moon is there. And obviously tonight we're doing the alien radio signal hunt, because it is too cloudy to get the camera out. And we'll have a look at that advanced weather forecast in a minute, and we'll see what we're likely to be seeing over the next coming week there. I've just realised today that I can concentrate on 3 things at once if I'm painting/drawing. Now that is interesting. That's the old ADHD there, the neurospicy brain, needing that certain amount of activity to give you then the dopamine to do the task. That's what I find. And Norfolk and Chance, how are you doing? I'll ask you where you're from, but I'm assuming Norfolk there, lovely county there. You're stepping into the mystery as well, the mythical lands around Suffolk and Norfolk up there. Have you seen anything strange yourself? Would love to hear about that. I know what you mean there, Kate. Deleted the info. In one ear, out the other. At the minute we're doing this, we're doing aliens. So everything else I've ever known is being pushed out of the window. And then when the next project comes along, I'll know even less for you guys there. But yeah, if you're joining us, we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt. So we're tuned in. We've got a very large dish there out in the garden, and it's a parabolic mesh antenna that is tuned to this frequency range there. So it's doing all of its work to really look at this narrow range of frequencies around the hydrogen line. That is the channel on the dial there, so that scientists theorize we are most likely to hear a message from ET should they be out there. So we're doing all of our work there to listen to that range, and it comes in, it gets filtered out. So we're filtering out as much of that background noise as possible, and then we're amplifying any signals that do come in, because these distances are so vast there. By the time a signal reaches us here on Earth, it's unlikely that it's going to be really loud, because you've got to think of it as kind of like shouting. So if somebody's really far away, you've got to shout very loud for them to hear them. And if there's a bit of background noise, maybe there's a beautiful waterfall or a road or something like that, then you've got to shout even louder to kind of get over that background level there. And kind of radio waves work in a similar sense. So there is a chance, a very strong chance here, that a signal could be reaching us, but it's getting lost because it's so quiet by the time it reaches us here, getting lost below the background noise there. And you'll see every now and again a red box will appear, and what that is doing is it's looking at that background noise, saying, is there any signs of repetition, modulation, encoding, anything like that that could say that there is part of a faint background signal coming in there that we are losing. But hopefully it'll be close enough by that we'll get a clearish signal that we can clearly see on screen. We can go Eureka, and we all get to be on the news for discovering an interesting radio signal. As I say, they are quite rare, most notably the WOW signal, but it's by far the only one there that has been detected. And a few of them have come from some very close by stars indeed. In fact, one of them has come from our closest stellar neighbour there, Proxima Centauri, is reported to be quite actively sending signals there. So the BLC-1 signal, the Breakthrough Listen Candidate 1 signal, so it's their first signal that they ever listed as a potential, came out, was that 2018 or something like that? Now, they officially said it's probably interference, so it's probably a satellite, but they couldn't prove it. They couldn't identify the source of that signal there. And there are rumours that they're just saying that because they're trying to analyse the signal, get more information, because scientists, they obviously, everybody wants to claim to be the first at something, but what they don't want to do is claim something and then have it debunked or something. It's a lot of egg on their faces, can destroy their reputation, so they're very cagey until they've got those confirmation, and it's very difficult to get a confirmation at these distances from other stars. But can you imagine our closest neighbouring star there having life on a planet in its orbit there? Would that be awesome, or would it be terrifying to think that our closest neighbour there is at a similar, or at least a similar level technologically than us as well? And a Linux user, how are you doing over there? Good to see you then. Up as well, thank you for the roses there. And such is ADHD life. I'm feeling that, Kate. I'm feeling it. Honestly, since I started doing this stream, my work productivity has done that. But I shall regain it in 2026, what I keep telling myself there. But yeah, excuse me. Try and cough off of mic there. Andre, I noticed how are you guys doing, and thank you for the hearts. Appreciate that, guys. All goes back into the stream. But yes, an alien radio signal hunt. I think my new favourite is the Ross 128 signal there. So Ross 128 is a star. It's about 11 light years from us there, so it's pretty close. It's on the same street to us here on Earth. And it's a red dwarf star, so it's smaller and a little bit more volatile than our own star. There. Oh, Love Light, how are you doing? Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? So yeah, it's a red dwarf star, but we do know that it has planets in its habitable zone. So we could actually have a source for that signal that's very, very close by. I find that absolutely fascinating. We did a couple of weeks ago. We did a targeted SETI stream like this. So we picked a star, again a close by one called Tau Ceti. Now Tau Ceti is very, very interesting star. Again, it's close by, about 11 light years again. We know that it has planets in its habitable zones. We believe a couple of super Earths, bigger than the Earth there, in its habitable zone there. But what's really important is that star, Tau Ceti, is a G-type star like our Sun, and that means that it is very likely to be able to support life, because we know ours can. And again, very interesting there. There's a lot in the UFO lore, isn't there, about aliens potentially coming from that star as well. So we pointed our dish over to there, and we kind of lined it all up, and we were doing a monitor of that one. We'll probably do that one again soon. It's just a bit of a pain to do it there. And Rio, where can I watch last night's one? Or it should be over on the tube there, so it should be automatically uploaded, last night's one. Because we got the anomalous flashing when we was doing the skywatch, didn't we? That was very, very interesting there, because it was multiple places and it was very, very bright as well. And Cincinnati, Ohio, I absolutely love that. I think you may be our first from over there. How are your skies over there? I would absolutely love to visit Cincinnati there. Have you ever seen anything strange there? We've had a good day. Yes, I'm been busy, trying to catch up on some work and stuff, but it's been good. It's been a weekend. How about yourselves? DJ is in. Everything is good. We did a cool skywatch last night, and it wasn't wonderfully clear. It wasn't the best of clarity, but it was good enough, and it was really awesome to see. What's the start? Betelgeuse, that was it. So we said this over the summer, that because during the summer we had a different star. It was our companion for our skywatches. We point the camera roughly in the same sort of place. Yeah, and that was Vega, and it's a beautiful purple star there absolutely stunning. Everybody asked, what is that on the screen? 'Cause it's so big, bright and purple for us on the camera. And we were saying, as the seasons go round, as winter comes in, it'll be Betelgeuse that will be our companion star, and it now is. It's now in the right place, and now the moon has gone down as well. We can see how big, bright, and orange it is. Absolutely stunning there. And Ayab, thank you for the portal there. Hopefully we'll say hello to some new friends. Excuse me, I always start coughing when I'm on the damn stream. Yes, if you're joining us, we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight. So if you've heard of the WOW signal there, a mysterious technological signal detected coming from deep space there that they haven't been able to explain. There, if you've heard of that one, that is what we're doing. We're listening out for similar things there. So as the Earth rotates, our dish is going to sweep across the night sky there, passing over many, many stars. Hopefully one of them is going to be inhabited and will be sending us a signal. And that's what we really want to catch tonight. If you've seen the film Contact, there with Jodie Foster, or The Arrival there with Charlie Sheen, or the recent Apple TV series Pluribus, that is a very similar sort of thing there. Messages from space there, from extraterrestrial civilization. That is what we're doing. We are listening out, and you can hear it behind the music if we listen. That is the signal coming in live on the frequency, the channel of interest there for us. And scientists think that is the early universe there, the sounds from just after the Big Bang, which is quite interesting indeed to think that we're listening back in time really with that one as well. So not only when we do the Skywatches, I'll be looking back in time, but we are listening back in time with this as well. So yeah, Mirzam, the star, which is 500 light years away, so that's probably 500 light years, probably at the other side of town in space terms there. Yes, it's now in range of the dish, so let's have a look to see if that background noise changes. Obviously we want to see a nice clear spike, that would be the gold, but if not, let's look to see if there are any changes in that background signal as well, which may imply, as I say, that there is a a faint signal getting lost in amongst the background, so keep an eye out for that. But we're going to have a couple of other stars in range soon. So Weezon, Adara, Aludra as well there, but most importantly, Sirius are there. Now, Sirius is another close-by star at about 8 light years from us, and it's got a lot of history again in the UFO lore. It's always quite funny to me that the close-by stars are the ones that have these stories that go back through generations far beyond the time that we've been able to monitor and understand the stars there before we had the telescopes and the technology to see what's going on. But conveniently, it's a lot of these close-by stars where they say visitors come from. I mean, what's the statistical odds of that? The amount of stars in the night sky. But yeah, it's the close-by ones that seem to be sending us the visitors. In the lore there, and Da Vinci. Oh, Da Vinci, how are you doing? Where are you joining us from tonight? And welcome aboard. Guys, do make sure you're following us, because we do something like this every night. So if it's cloudy, we're doing the alien radio signal hunt there. If it's a clear sky, then we're doing the UFO UAP skywatcher, because we're based in Wiltshire in the UK, which, if you know, is right in the heart of crop circle country. It's just down the road from Stonehenge as well, so a very ancient and mystical landscape. These are the skies to be watching. We also do a moon watch as well, and that's what that looks like. We see all the craters, all of the details, and talk about how weird some of the sightings that have gone on off and around the moon there. So we're always looking for evidence of the phenomena, but my favourite part is hearing from all of you guys about what your experiences have been there, how we can all then learn a little bit more about the phenomena, how much of it is going on, so we can all piece this puzzle together there. So that is, don't be afraid, do say hello and let us know if you've got a story. We'd love to hear about that one as well. And DFW, good to see you in there tonight. Mehmet too, Floofy's in as well. Alexi as well, and Mustafa. How are you guys doing? Where are you joining us from tonight? It's good to have everybody in on this Sunday evening there. Josie as well, thank you for the follow there. Good to see you, Alex. Is it Alex? Yeah, and no longer me as well. Good to have you in. Where are you guys joining us from tonight? I say we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt. We're searching the skies, hoping to hear ET say hello. It's a bit of a right place, right time, but the longer we do it, the more those statistical chances of detection do increase. They're just like the WOW signal in the 1970s. This is what we are looking and listening out for tonight. And there's been Carl's over there. How are you doing, Carl? Good to see you over on that one. How are you doing tonight? It's good to see you all there. Yes, that's what we're doing. We're searching for potential alien radio signals there. And does your dish only monitor a tiny area of space? How do you decide where to point it? Floofit, that is such a brilliant question there. And yes, it does. So sadly, we don't have obviously access to one of those massive radio telescopes there. And what that does is that increases the size of the dish, increases the sensitivity there, but also increases precision. So what we're doing is literally just to pick a place in the night sky. The key is consistency, because we don't necessarily know where aliens may be, which stars are inhabited potentially. It's still a big question. So at the minute, the one to go on is, has there been any previous anomalous signals? That could increase our odds. And over the summer, we were pointing to Sagittarius, which is where the WOW signal was detected. Somewhere in that range there, so we were monitoring that one, but now that's kind of gone a bit too far around. We're now trying to point at other stars of interest, so we're just lining it up now that I said a few are going to come in range soon, like Sirius there, close by star with a lot of history with the phenomena, so it's going to be hopefully quite interesting to see if we get those signals there. So that's how we pick, but the actual range of it is quite a small target area basically in the night sky, relatively speaking there. And if you guys are over on these ones, you can see the horizontal view. You actually see that behind me is that night sky map, and it shows you where the dish is pointing and what close by stars are in range. Sadly, it gets blocked by me over here on this one, but yeah, it's a difficult one where to point the dish there. But as long as I think we keep doing it and keep repeating the same areas there, we increase that statistical odds, because it's not just the right place, it is also the right time there. You know, is that star inhabited by life with a civilization that has at least radio technology to be able to send a signal? But are they sending that signal at that time? Because we're unlikely, very, very unlikely, to be able to detect their sort of general radio, their Wi-Fi, their airport radar, their television channels, anything like that, because those signals are relatively faint, so it'd have to be so close by, and our dish would have to be really, really sensitive there. So we're listening out for that purposeful signal there, which is a high power transmission. Who was that? Blue Nose, thank you for that. the elephant there. Oh, and DJ, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
And Rio,
thank you for the alien
as
pets,
well. And
guys.
Floofy, thank you for the heart as well. There, Alex as well, thank you for the rose. And Rio again,
Thank you for the alien pets, guys.
Sorry, guys, I'm getting slack on those ones. Appreciate that. So it all goes back into to the stream there as well, helping us improve what we do there. But yes, that's a brilliant question there. It's from WOW, the WOW signal, it's as well. Oh, and that was such a good signal. Sadly, we haven't heard it repeat, but did you know that we don't actually spend that long listening out again for it there? So that was that brilliant signal in the late 70s, 78 I think, that was detected by the Big Ear radio telescope of the Ohio State University one there. And again, it was such a good signal. It looked exactly what we'd expect a technological radio signal to look like, and it was where we expected to hear it as well there, physically on the radio dial there. So it was such a brilliant one. They haven't been able to disprove it since there, but we don't actually spend that long re-listening for it there as well. Floofy as well, thank you for the rose there. And I love the questions, Floofy. I hope you're well as well there. So yeah, I do love those. But yeah, it's a tricky one, you know, where do we point? For how long? You know, and all of that there. And again, the question as well is, where on the radio dial do we listen? Because there are thousands of frequencies or channels here on the dial, and what they're all chunked up into separate bands here on Earth. So we say, look, this band is going to be for your radio stations that you listen to. These ones are going to be for your cell phones. This is going to be for your marine radio signals, your air radio signals there, your military, your satellite communication. They all get a little selection of channels, so they don't interfere with each other. But this frequency is unique. This is one of the reasons why we pick the hydrogen line, is because it's so useful for our radio science there, that it's actually reserved for listening only there. So if we do get a nice clear signal on the screen, again, it's unlikely to be man-made technology making that signal. There are a few other tests that we have to have it pass, but that also immediately helps us out there. Whereas if we detect a signal anywhere else, it could be Earth-based technology, much harder to filter out there. But it is also the frequency, not only where the WOW signal was heard and other potential alien radio signals have been heard, it is where we think they would most likely be there because of that use for radio astronomy. If it's useful to our scientists to learn about the universe, it will be useful for theirs if they have radio technology. So if you want a message heard, this is the place to put it. They're most likely to have the ears on it as well there. And Kerry, hello, and thank you for the gifts there as well. All goes back into the stream. And Evelyn Debster, good to see you there. I hope you are well as well. Ian Louise as well, good to see you in tonight. Where is everybody joining us from there? Alan, let's play, good to see you there. P as well, and Golden Balls, love the name there. Joanne, Dave, and JJ, how is everyone tonight? Where are you joining us from, and how do you feel about the UFO phenomena? If you've got a really cool story there about something anomalous that's happened to you, we'd love to hear about that whilst we're waiting for the action to happen on a screen there. Kerry, again, thank you for the gifts. And Debster.
Nom nom nom, thanks,
Thank
guys.
you for feeding Alan. It's a bit cruel that he likes the old alien pets, isn't it? But who am I to judge alien culture there as well? Kerry, coming in loads of gifts there. Thank you. That is very, very kind. So it all goes back into the stream as well. Helps us improve what we are doing. That hopefully increase our odds of detection these things. I can see those likes as well. Titus are there as well, and JJ as well. I appreciate those guys. It does help us reach more and more like-minded people there. The tapping away, the shares, etc. And you never know who you're going to get in, who's going to come in and share a phenomenal first-hand account with the phenomena. So we do appreciate all of that one. And B coming in as well, feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
Thank you for those. So where are we in the chat as well? B is in. How is your weekend gone there? And Golden Balls, what's up? Hopefully aliens. Hopefully, how are you doing? How do you feel about the aliens? It's totally fine to be skeptical as well, though. We like a good mix of opinions here and understandings of the phenomena. So how do you feel? Let us know. Are we all alone here? Or is life abundant? Maybe it's somewhere in between there. And Discord is the best place to put the story. So that is a good point there. So I love to hear about them on stream, and it's a great place to start there. But we have a really cool little community over there on Discord, and it's so active. We've got a really good personal experiences section where you guys are putting in your first-hand accounts with the phenomena. Images and videos too are there, so do go over there and share them there so the rest of the community can catch them. Don't just disappear after the stream there. So it's always a good place for that. But lots of general news on the UFO alien phenomena there. Old Free Atlas has its own section, so it's always worth checking out. And we also do a monthly alien movie club, so we vote on an alien themed film once a month, and we then watch it together separately, but at the same time, and chat along in the Discord. We're going to be doing that again, I think the 30th of January at 10 PM UK time, so you're welcome to join us for that. We've voted, and it's going to be The Vast of Night, which if you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime. It's a really, really good independent alien film there as well. And Cola, and I don't like it at all. Cold. Why did I say Cola? My God, my eyes are going. You can tell it's a Sunday evening, isn't it? Cold, I don't like it. B, I feel you there. I thought it was getting warmer. My energy bill's going through the roof. So, yeah, I feel you there, but no, it's gone. It's another cold snap there. So I figured out about the Diamond Art Alan, sorry, and I can have it made on the 1st and sent it. Oh my God, B, that would be absolutely insane. That would be brilliant. I'd totally forgotten about that one. We would love to do. We'd have to do a stream of me getting frustrated trying to do that there. If you manage to, B, we'd love to do that. That's brilliant. A Diamond Art Alan. There. And also on the 29th of this month, the first person UFO hunt game is going to be released, so hopefully that's going to be stable enough. And what we'll do is when we do the occasional gaming stream to mix things up, we'll be able to keep it on theme there. The others are fun, but it'd be good to keep it more UFO based as well. So yes, we are listening out for those. Oh, there you go. There's the microanalysis we just went through there. That was that red box there, and that is listening to those background sounds there, the background noise, to see if there is any faint indication of a message that is getting lost in amongst all of that noise there. So that is what we are doing there. With the Earth's rotation, our dish is fixed. So with the Earth's rotation, it's going to sweep across the night sky, passing over various planets and various stars with various planets there, and hopefully one of them is going to be sending us a signal. At the minute, the closest by star that we have in range of our dish is Mearsam there at 500 light years, and if we were to get a signal from that star, it would take 2.8 terawatts of energy to send that signal, which is a hell of a lot of energy. It's why they probably are unlikely to be sending them the whole damn time there. But Sirius is about to come in range, and that's a very interesting one, because not only has it got a long history with the phenomena, but it has also got it's also about 8 light years away. There you go, so much closer there as well. Hello Shannon, how are you doing? Good to see you. How are you looking forward to work, or is it still busy for you this week as well? If it's okay with Sam and Alan, we can all send in Alan art until the 1st and vote it. Oh, yes. We could do a little, like the kids' TV show, send in your art. We do a little competition for which one will be the diamond art piece. Oh, that would be perfect there. Oh, got the flu. Oh, Shannon, I am so ungraceful when it's the flu, so I'm feeling you there. I do hope you feel better. I haven't had to do this whilst having the flu yet, touch wood, which is surprising. I'm normally always coming down with something, but imagine me doing this snivelling away. That's not going to be a pleasant experience for you guys. But we'll get there. But yeah, that could be an interesting stream, the art stream version for that there. And is it the new flu? None of that old flu. We want the latest flu. The Flu 18 Pro, or whatever it's going to be called, got a big rebound from what I hear. Oh, really? It sucks, yeah. Had it for almost a week now. Oh, Jesus, that is a long old time. I was one of these people that were like, I couldn't stop working, and it only just the last few years has dawned on me that if I still keep working whilst being ill, then it just takes me longer to recover, and therefore work suffers overall. So I'm trying to learn to take a break. And I tried this year. I went, you know what, I'm actually going to take a day or two off. And you know what? I was better within 2 days. Like, oh my God, this is revolutionary. It's crazy. The new trendy flu, that's it. You want to be hip. You don't want none of that old flu there. Because at work outdoors, it'll just make it worse. Oh my God, yeah. No, you definitely don't want to be there. I mean, I can barely survive indoors with it. But yeah. So, guys, if you are joining us, we're doing an alien radio signal hunt there. Raoul, is it? There, how are you doing? Where are you joining us from tonight there? Thank you for the follow there, appreciate that, and thank you for the heart. That all goes back into the stream there. And if you're not following us already, guys, definitely do, because we do this every night. So at the minute, it's the alien radio signal hunt. We're searching for ET, hopefully saying hello. But on a clear sky, it's the UFO UAP skywatcher there. And because we're based in Wiltshire, which is right in the heart of crop circle country here in the UK, and just down the road from Stonehenge, it's a very ancient and mystical landscape with a long history of the phenomena. So these are the skies to be watching. And if the moon is up as well, we search the moon for translunar phenomena and all those weird things seen on, off and around the moon. So do make sure you're following to get those notifications when we go live there. I know so many folks who've had it, and 2 weeks later it comes back. Oh my God, I do not want that. There, Shannon shared the live. Nature is healing. Thank you there, Shannon. Do appreciate that. And B as well there. Appreciate that, guys, because it was those likes and those shares that does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. And the more intelligent, open-minded people we can get to share their experiences and knowledge of the phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. Oh, hi, how are you doing? Good to see you there. And I had a crazy dream the other night that ET knocked my door and asked for milk. It's come all that way to borrow some milk. We watched E.T., didn't we, on our last movie club there. Raoul as well, the name of this app. So this is part out. Well, in fact, technically it's all ours. So we've actually got our own dish out there in the garden, and it comes in through the equipment. This top section is available. This is open source software-defined radio receiving software. They're called SDR++. But this section here, this middle bit, the bit behind us, and when it loads, you'll see the full screen come up, and you can actually see like this stuff to the left and the right of the screen that you can't see over there on the TikTok. So there's more analysis going on there. That is actually something that we're working on ourselves. So we are trying to make it available to people. Hopefully, some point soon there will be a website where you can like log on that we'll give you, and you can just monitor at any time that you want during the day. You won't have to rely on us being online there. So Wayfind as well coming in with the likes, appreciate that. So yeah, that is what we are doing tonight. We're searching for a message from ET. Sirius is about to come in range. And I always get the particular tribe name wrong, but is it the Dogon people there of Africa? Are they the tribe that basically they said in their cultural history, and they've said this for a very long time since we've recorded it. In fact, through the last 100 years or so of anthropology, their stories that their ancestors actually had an encounter with alien beings thousands of years ago that came from Sirius there. But what was interesting is that they said that Sirius is actually a binary star system there, and their particular planet has a 52-year orbit of where they came from. Now, bearing in mind, when we first heard this story long ago in antiquity, we didn't have the telescope ability to see much. We could see the stars, you can with the eye, but we couldn't see the details around it, let alone this African tribe saying this for thousands of years. But lo and behold, in the 80s or 90s, then when we did point a telescope that was bright enough at that star, it turned out it was a binary star, and there was a planet on a 52-year orbit. Or it was a planet, or the binary second star was on a 52-year, or something like that. So how did those people know those details there, that tribe, unless somebody had come from it? And if you're going to pick a star to say, oh, this is where so-and-so's come from, I mean, the chances of it being a really close by one there, I mean, it's not our closest, but it is very close. So for me, that is very, very interesting indeed there. And Rio, I dreamt last night that there were 10 aliens in my bedroom just staring at me. Oh, Rio, no, I'm lucky I don't have alien dreams yet, touch wood, there, because some of the ones I hear about people, and there's that overlap, isn't it? Is it a dream, and is it real for some people? Not saying yours necessarily was, it could have just been a lovely, safe dream. But yeah, like the idea of that, just, not for me there. And the signal is getting busier. Good. I'm glad you're here, because we are getting more of those stuff. We're literally on the cusp of Sirius coming in. It's right on the edge of our dish's maximum range. And again, you can't see the target on the dish, but there is like a clear central area, and that is where YouTubers can see it, but that is where the dish is strongest. And now if a signal is particularly loud, we might have a chance of getting in this outer radius. Now that outer radius is literally just on the edge where Sirius is there, so the details will pop up on screen, and if you can see the horizontal view, you'll start seeing it in there in the middle right, all those star details. So I'm loving that one. And Wayfind, the Dugon is such a mystery, and you have to wonder. I'm glad I got it right. But yeah, it is, and I think there are similar ones, or similar-ish ones. There are so many cultural stories there of people coming from the stars. Now, what's very interesting as well, not just that part of it, but that, we in the Western world didn't really know about stars and space and planets and all this sort of stuff. We've said we've had all these things, oh, it's the gods in the skies and stuff like that, haven't we? But yeah, there's lots of these tribes where they kind of had more of a grasp of actually how it is than we did for a while there. And did you read the article about Jose Bonilla and his capturing of the UFO in 1880s? No, I didn't. I haven't seen that. Well, I haven't actually been on the Discord like this weekend at all. So sadly, if it's on the Discord, I am planning on catching up with that on my commute it to work. I haven't seen it, but this is it goes back, doesn't it, to the 1880s there, so well before we think of the modern age of UFO interest there, which was what, the 50s, late 40s, the 50s, the 60s there. It's gone on for the whole damn time. You know, even there are cave paintings, religious texts and things, and it does look like, say, that the phenomenon has been here the whole damn time there. Shannon, thank you for the shares there. And he caught them on some plates when he was taking images of the sun. Now that is even more interesting there, because then there's evidence, there's physical evidence there, that ancient astronomy and seeing those things. It's quite funny, isn't it, that he's caught them in the 1880s, and then in the 1950s there was the Panama plates as well, which are recently getting a bit of attention because they've caught anomalies. So we're looking back at all these historical astronomical photographic plates there of the night sky. The images, basically, they used to be on these glass plates or metal plates. They'd have the image like an old school film on there. So we're looking back at these now and going, wait a minute, the night sky is a little bit different. What's this? This is weird. And user 300, how are you doing? That's a good number to get there, 300. How are you? Where are you joining us from tonight? Thank you for the follow there. Blue Nose coming in with the roses as well there, and Raoul as well, the extra rose too. And Shannon coming in with the roses. Thank you guys. So I appreciate that, and it all goes back into the stream there. I think we're up to date. We're across the board. So guys, do say hello if you're joining us for the first time. Let us know where you're watching from there as well. And also if you've had any strange experiences, because we'd love to hear those whilst we're waiting for the phenomena to appear on screen. There, this is the channel on the radio dial there where scientists theorise we are most likely to hear a message from ET, should they be out there sending a signal. It's where the infamous wow signal was heard in the 78, I think it was, back in 78, but it is where a number of those other interesting candidate signals have been detected as well over the years, some of them quite recently, and coming from some very close by stars indeed there. And Blue Nose,
Thank you for the alien
thank
pet
you for
skies.
feeding Alan as well there. So yeah, there are some interesting signals that have been heard over time there, but it isn't just, I mean, there is lots of anomalies there in radio, so we're listening out for that very particular signal, a civilization there sending a message out there, not necessarily knowing if there is life out there to receive it, but just saying hi, is anybody else out there? It's that sort of high-powered purposeful transmission there. But you also have the phenomenon of maybe just their general radio signals as well. Again, there'll be a lot fainter there, so we wouldn't be able to pick those up, but that's another phenomena that a lot of SETI work is doing there. Maybe there is also, going back through history there, in the early days of radio with Tesla and Marconi detecting strange radio signals they thought maybe were Martians there as well. You've got the long delay echo phenomena as well, which could imply that there is a probe in Earth's orbit as well there, what we haven't put there. So all very, very interesting. Lots of anomalies in the world of radio there. And what do we think about the astronauts leaving the space station early? And do we think something is sus? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Like, obviously they've not said specifically which astronaut and what the health complication is, and it's never happened before. So it is interesting, although judging by how NASA behaved with the previous issue that they had, where those astronauts were left up because of the error with the Orion capsule, the fact that they were left up there because of politics when they could have been taken back months and months, which, it's not a particularly safe place to be up there, especially longer than you're planned for. So I don't trust NASA on those ones there. So maybe some shenanigans going on there. And Wayfind as well. The number of cave paintings they say are consistent with a DMT as well. So I better be careful with the words I use there. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting, isn't it, that people that experience that also experience a similar thing, because you'd expect, wouldn't you, hallucinations to be chaotic, or at the very least highly subjective, but there does seem to be a consistency to it as well there. Maybe they all got space flu. I mean, that's what it is. They've been there for 2 weeks, and then it's going to come back there. And I feel the poor people are left behind. They'll be on their own for a few months. God, what's that like psychologically as well there? I mean, you've not got many people to talk to up there, then you take a few away. Are the Russians still up there? Are they still technically working together in a minimal sense up there? Have we just left them? All the entire space race was political. Well, that's actually a very good point there, B. I mean, that's where it came from. It was that pressure, wasn't it? It was a race between the US there and the Soviets there, and that amount of pressure basically, pushed us hopefully to go to the moon and stuff, which is, I'm still there with it there. So you've got to angle it's the political there, but I mean, it's a very interesting one. Have you seen the guy on the tubes there whose video you beat every day on the California beach? We do have a couple of guys over on our tubes. I don't know if it's the same guys, but he's constantly catching them. I think maybe it's a Florida one actually. He's based. So every day he's seeing new stuff, sending us in. See, the activity is just absolutely crazy, and I'm leaning towards that. You know, it's probably been there like that to a similar amount anyway for a long time there. No, I think they'll be on their own up there. Oh dear. That is going to be lonely. I suppose you're psychologically prepared for it to a degree, aren't you, with all your training and stuff, but I don't know how. I'd love to go for a day, but I wouldn't want to be trapped for like that many times there. And didn't the US just go back to the moon, or did I just dream it? Well, I think they're planning to. They're planning on sending, aren't they, the first Artemis 2 or 3, basically, and that's going to orbit the moon with people in it there. So, and hopefully it won't be a landing too far. Out of all of the dilly-dallying with this, oh, we're going back to the moon, but we're not, but we are going around the houses for, what, 20, 30 years now they've been talking about this. And all of a sudden, oh, yeah, no, we are actually doing it now. I say we. But you guys are actually doing it. So, obviously, the Chinese must be getting close, and they can't want to leave that one there. And the Hawaii beach camps are crazy at the moment. Interesting there. I wonder what is going on to cause that. And I wonder how much of it, well, as well, is going to be potentially the plasmoid side to this. So, you know, you've got your UFO craft, you know, appearing as lights, you know, in the sky there. But how much of it is the plasmoid, which is potentially sentient plasma-based life there? I think that's going to be a big part of it. And so, like I thought, another space race because of, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely close there. Rosetta, how are you doing? Happy New Year. Hope you are all well. Did you enjoy your trip down west there? And noticing the world is, yeah. Oh no! Oh, that's not the way you want that period to go, is it? There. I feel you. Hope, are you better now? Are you getting there? Literally, this silence nonsense won't actually shove off. Oh dear. Is that recovery? Yeah, it's issue there. It's hanging around. Oh, that is, yeah. Got the proper forever logo. Oh, Jesus. I had some stuff after the old, the 2020 time that lingered. And oh my God. You know, I never really had to consider my physical health before. And oh my God, that was... it really does make you notice a little taster of what it is like for people there that do have those constant problems with those things as well. Calling Childline as well. Alan's been trying to do that recently. They keep telling him that he's 4,000 years old, so he doesn't qualify. Must be you giving him ideas. But guys, yeah, if you're joining us, we are doing a live Alien Radio signal hunt tonight there, and hopefully, let's have a quick look at the weather. What are we looking like for the... Oh, God. Right, Monday... maybe, might, if we're lucky, get something in. Tuesday's looking horrible. Oh, God, no. It looks like we're back to the wet weather, which means we'll have to be... keeping an eye out on the day for opportunities to do a skywatch, so hopefully we'll get a chance to do another UAP skywatch soon. And those off planet are spotting, and we are less than a minute from midnight. And he's talking about nukes there. Hefty dose of the God in 20 there, and you get a chance. Oh my God! Yeah, I remember you said something about because you said about your experience there. Jesus. That is incredibly rough there as well. Your baby's pot as well. That is, it's really been hitting people lately, hasn't it? I mean, I know the winter period it does, you know, obviously more the increase of colds and things and flus and stuff goes up, but it does seem to be a lot higher this year. And I'm eating Smarties but not feeling smart. That just means you need more, Andrea. More Smarties, although maybe they lost their magic effects when they got rid of those blue ones as well. I've given up. You know, I don't think they can be adding the environmental stuff to that clock. I don't think that counts in my eyes. And but I think this is just the year's horrible, awful flu. Well, fingers crossed, it will pass for you sooner there as well. A recurrent one. Somebody, yeah, B was mentioning that a minute ago there, that it is really, it's hard to shift or it can come back. Leanne had something like that before, I think in November. Yeah, she was really suffering with that. It wouldn't go there. 89. So we're a minute and a minute and a half to midnight then, really. Sounds a little bit safer at that point. I don't trust it. I've thrown that one out of the water. When you told me that they're putting the environmental stuff into there, no, that's not a comment on the environmental, but I think initially it was the nuclear catastrophe there, which is a more imminent, immediate sort of thing. Like they're about to press the button there. For a hot minute, yeah. It's like the clock has stopped. Yeah, I don't trust it. I think they're playing silly buggers at the minute with that. So I ain't having it. Until I see that bright flash and get suddenly very warm, then you can all tell me how wrong I was. Have they really? I thought it was just like a Cold War nuclear thing. I thought it was, done at that sort of point there, because we didn't really have the same consciousness parts to it there. It wasn't in the flavour of it. Because if that is true, then I would have to recite that if they did account of that. But I mean, I don't. I still feel I don't know the science, but I know when people are trying to sell me something. And at the minute, I'm feeling very much like people are trying to sell me nuclear bunkers. And oversized tubs of supplies, at the minute. I'm getting very sus to that. We'll be skipping time as well, as we're all out of sync. Oh, I mean, that bends my head when you talk about, accounting for all of that. What do you guys make of the old, the missing 300 years or something? They think that the church manipulated, our actual calendar there to skip 300 years. The Dark Ages didn't really happen or something. I mean, it's an interesting theory, but I've heard people say it the other way. Say, no, we've got a lot of evidence that we didn't there. Well, it started by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. There. Well, that'll be a first there, Rosetta. It'll be a first. Normally, if you say something, I'm just assuming you're right on that. And so, the same, we are actually in year 3, whether they've ever admit to it or not. Yeah. It is interesting. It is interesting. It's hard now, isn't it, to tell? But, I mean, I've given up. I've given up until I see that flash and suddenly get very warm. I ain't going to worry. Although I am going to worry. I'm very much going to worry. Yeah, we've got all of the stars in range now. All but one. We've got 4 stars in range there. We've got Sirius, we've got Merzam, we've got Adara and Weezon, and they are 8.6 light years. That is Sirius there, and it's only 831.92 megawatts of energy required to get a signal there from Sirius there. Merzam is 500 light years there, so a little bit further. The other side of town, 2.81 terawatts there, and Adara there, 430 light years, 2.08 terawatts, and Weezon there at 1800 light years. Now that is much further, and I didn't add, when designing this software, a little scroll button to go down and scroll through the other ones which can't quite fit on there. So it's very frustrating. Otis has dug 18 holes in the garden. Maybe he's doing 80 or golf course, like somebody else. Yeah. And they've added the environment stuff in since 2007 there. I mean, not that isn't necessarily a concern, but there is for me, it's a very different type of threat, and they shouldn't be calculated into the same thing there, because you're talking about high tension situation where somebody might press a button which could instantly obliterate us all, or the slower, longer term effects, which, it's not it's a very complicated thing there with lots of component parts, and it's not like one as easy as somebody just pushing a button there because they've got the wrong bit of information. It's a much more complicated, drawn out issue. It feels like there should be some sort of different account there. They seem to be 2 very different things there for me, and they would be coming for us first, and no need to worry. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, where I am, it's a military town here, so we're right next to all the training ranges, so this is definitely on somebody's target list there. Well, 90, yeah, by the time itself, yeah. Well, it's a doomsday clock and linked to the destruction and technologies of our own. So it does include, so therefore as well, so like AI and things in there and stuff as well. Very interesting. I don't know. I feel like, it starts to lose its value if they start to account, how many air miles I'm doing in a year in it or something like that. Not that I ever get on planes. So my child is terrified of the 6-minute warning and spent hours thinking how to get water. I mean, that is the thing there. Like, it was absolutely terrifying to live under that. And I come from a generation where we didn't. We didn't have those looming threats. The wars were far, far away. So it's a very new experience of my generation. And the younger ones now as well. But you guys have kind of been through all of that before. But the older, the few minutes warning there, like, the joke is, isn't it, that why 4-minute warning is just it's no use to anyone. You can't really do anything with the 4 minutes there. But the reason that we have the 4-minute warning is that because we had all the radar bases, the over-the-head horizon bases here, so we could see here in Europe, if those missiles were coming in first. But basically it gave the Americans a longer, more useful warning. But for us, it was just like, tough guys. But this is the thing, and this is what really interested me when I was looking into sort of the Cold War and how it would play out. And it's quite interesting to look at it for now. Every single scenario that they predicted of how a nuclear war would go, it wasn't actually world-ending annihilation. The actual strategic battle plan scenarios, not how we would operate, but how we'd expect it to go down, was essentially that the first nuclear weapon would be a tactical nuclear weapon, probably used on a ship in the Black Sea. There, just everything came out. All the best minds basically said that is probably how it's going to start there. And then what would happen is that they'll do that one, and then go, oh, that got close, and calm down. That's how all of the planning went for it there. But there's also a build-up as well. So this was the thing. It wasn't just that at any point people expected to get the 4-minute warnings, and this is the reassurance point here, is that there is a whole political play and movement and build-up and stuff like that. And part of it was, and we don't do this now because it's almost pointless, but actually just down the road from me was our largest nuclear bunker, which was the Burlington bunker, and it was meant to be the main home of government in the event of nuclear war there. Absolutely massive underground facility in an old quarry, essentially. And so where government could continue, there were regional centres as well, but this was the main one where Whitehall was meant to relocate to. And obviously 4 minutes from London here is not going to happen. So what the idea was, when those tensions got to that area where it was possible or even closer, is that they would basically ship everybody off here 2 weeks in advance there. So the idea is that you kind of know, the best minds thought that you'd get about a few weeks notice if you're getting to that close there, if you're getting to that stage. It's unlikely to be totally out of the blue there. You just got to see if all of a sudden the ministers start disappearing again there. An unfixable catastrophe. Well, that depends definition of fixable, isn't it? Radioactive plants glow in the dark. It might be more than fixable. There, and it's closer to destroying the world. Again, subjective. I'm just being contrarian, Rosetta. And if someone pressed the button, we'd likely never know it due to a mutually assured destruction. Well, this is the thing, and apparently, though, the button has been pressed. There are getting now more and more stories, and we do know one very credible story where the instruction was sent in Russia, wasn't it? But the guy who was the fail-safe in the middle decided not to press it, and luckily it was an error. But there's been reports of more than that happened. We had new contingency plans at school because of our proximity to Dungeness. Now that is cool. I know it's not cool in that sense, but for me, who's like that I'm interested in that sort of stuff, that's quite interesting there. Yeah, I suppose, considering the nuclear energy side of things as well. What was the plans for that? What was the rough sort of gist of it for that as well? And it was truly awful, and still I got to protect and survive leaflet. It came through the door. I mean, keep hold of it now. But I mean, if we didn't do it then, there as well. Raven Rock, that rings a bell. Which one was that there? Oh, it takes 20 minutes for a helicopter to get from the White House to Raven Rock. Yeah, but I think even then it was still like 14 minutes the US had. It still wasn't a long period of time that you could do much around. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe it was half an hour or something. But it's all to do with that build-up. It's why you got the DEF CON stages. or the Bikini States as they used to be called over here, which is a weird name for it. And why use a helicopter? And I know someone can put a force field over him. Yeah. The Cuban Missile Crisis, that was very, very close there. Very, very close. And it was a very interesting one as well. And that was the old Harold Malmgren as well, wasn't it? He was the presidential advisor. That he may have been one of the key people there that actually brought that to a resolution without blowing everyone's all up there. And he's also came out on his deathbed, didn't he, and said he was involved in the alien reverse engineering programs, and he had evidence of that. So if he's a very credible person there, responsible maybe for stopping us all blowing up, I would listen to him about it there. And these missiles travel at 10 times the speed of sound. It is, they are very fast. And it's been rebuilt now, but the original school building was lead lined. I didn't even know. I mean, in the UK, it makes sense, but I normally just thought we were so poor that we just never bothered with any of that. It was just kind of like a fingers crossed situation now. That's a little expensive there. I bet they knocked that. Just getting the lead out of that probably paid for the new building there. How are you doing, TB, as well? Good to see you. We've gone down an end of the world road here as well. Definitely not reach Raven Rock if a nuke got sent over as well. Have you seen the Doomsday planes? They're really cool. As well, because that's the other theory, isn't it, to maintain spreading your bets as well. I'm sure there'll be some people in bunkers, there'll be some people in the air, some people under the sea and on the sea. Our plans in the UK, would they have worked out there? But we had the regional seats of governments. They were largish nuclear bunkers there to just do the admin and local facilities. Then you had the main centre, and it changed throughout the years, but you had the main centre there in Burlington down here in the west. But also, people were like, well, the Queen and everyone would have gone, they would have had their own bunker. No, the Queen's, it was released, actually, what would have happened for the Queen during the Cold War, should that go into that phase, sorry, love, you've got to go to Balmoral. Here's a handful of soldiers, a handful, not a lot, and fend for yourselves, basically. That was the royal plan for it there. Even because they theorized that should just go on the Royal Yacht Britannica at the time, but no, that was actually would have been commandeered for a sea-based regional seat of government. There's an extra layer there. Fascinating news. Oh, that'd be right up my street there. Tote's going to help you see. Essentially, Kate, I'm sure we'll be all right. Not that we need to take our eyes off of the ball, but I'm sure we're going to be all right there. I agree. They gave permission for me to leave the event. Oh, hey, wait, what was that? Was it? What's the first? What's that for? And one of the Doomsday planes was spotted at LAX 4 days ago. Well, I think they always have one in the air, don't they? But that's interesting. I wonder how well they'll hold up to it as well. And then 20-minute warning would be a little to low use. Yeah, it's literally just, that was the best we could get because of the speed of the missiles. It was, well, do you want to know they're coming or not at all? But yeah, it was never long enough for that there. Of the iodine tablets as well. I used to know a doctor as well. And he was responsible in the local, for Essex, for part of that, the planning for distribution of medication post an event, should there be anything left. How they set up their stores, how they would distribute, iodine tablet stuff to the general public there, and through that stuff. It's quite interesting. There was a lot of work that went into it. God knows, would it have done anything in it there as well? Still maintain, if we're getting cooked, I'm heading straight for the epicenter. You might as well. You might as well these days. To just give a 24 hours notice. In a put, yeah. It's a way of tackling, isn't it? Was to bunker down in various rooms and halls per year. So you just sort of hold out there. God, how they've got you there. Unlikely. 20 minutes is enough time to call folks and tell, but everybody else would be calling as well, wouldn't they? And can't imagine the med distribution as it is. That honestly, in this little town, it wasn't great, but it was a couple of days' notice. That was perfectly fine. As long as it got out of your GP for a prescription. When I was in Essex, it was a couple of days. But here, you can wait like a week and a half, 2 weeks if you're lucky for it. There's just not enough pharmacists in the town. It's the first time it's landed in the US in 15 years. Interesting. Maybe. There are these things. There are those other indicators that can say that you're heading into territory. 51 years. I would have thought they would have done it like the old B-52s, which was, like some of them up, and then another lot go up, and the other ones go down for a rest and stuff like that. But is it not based then anywhere near? Very interesting. I don't know much on that one. You guys in the US, you had all of your fallout shelters, didn't you? Had public shelters and stuff like that. We didn't have anything like that. It was all, fill your bathtub with water, guys, and, build a little shelter under your stairs. That was the official public advice. But then the country is so small, not much else you can do, is there? It seems the fertiliser mine UK has 1,100 metres under the sea. I've heard something about that, yeah. Like the apocalypse and could be the number one merchant of one thing. That I like that one, Rosetta. Here you go. That is a good question. Should we put that one out? So, if you survive the apocalypse and you could be the number one merchant of one thing, what would it be? I'll have to have a think about that. Come on, answers on a postcard, guys. I want to know what you would be selling. 11 kilos. Well, that's not a bad place to head to, is it? But the problem is you've got to have all the other stuff, haven't you? I should have guessed that would be tomatoes, Kate. I like it. Sort of fabric dyes. I mean, yeah, it goes right the way back to it, doesn't it? Problem is, I am so unpractical in those basic things there. I wouldn't survive 5 minutes. Like, there's just no point. Just eat me, guys. Whiskey, oh yeah, you'd be popular, I think. And if you go into the bunkers and public shelters, no way they would have sustained 4 months and 2 weeks max. Well, they weren't designed to. The ones we had in the UK, they weren't designed to. And again, the bombs were much smaller when a lot of them were designed, but they were meant to basically be monitoring for the initial wave to get the picture, and then it was to be sort of admin and overseas there. They weren't designed to live in them for long periods at all. There wasn't really a big shelter for it like that. It was just too expensive for us to bother with. I mean, we still have a few that haven't been declassified now to get a more full picture, but yeah, it wasn't like a lot of people think there. And but I don't know, I wouldn't want to spend that amount of time. To be honest, I don't know if I would want to live, post-apocalypse anyway. Oh, good night, Mr. Tom. I read that. Well, sorry, I saw the TV show of it. Oh, the TV film years ago, and I have a couple of fleeting memories. I remember it being good there. And what do you call an alien wizard on a UFO? A flying saucer, Zine. That is actually quite good there. I might steal that. I've got a project involving wizards. I'm gonna have to steal that. That's pretty good. I'll be so claustrophobic, and they probably would end up kicking me out. Yeah, exactly, Rosetta. It's that initial wave. It's the first book. I vaguely make that like from the film of it, the TV show, film, whatever it was. I feel like it was an emotional one there. And what do you call a magic dog? A labracadabrador. Is Xena, Rosetta and Xena, are you? We don't normally see you in the room at the same time, so like, are you the same? Because you got the same sort of quality, high quality jokes there, guys. I spoke to a guy last week who won the huge Euro lottery, and he bought a forest outside London. That's not a bad idea. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Have a nice bit of land. Brilliant, top tier there, Rosetta. Alan's laughing telepathically. He booked a Chinook to use as a taxi. I mean, God, your money goes down pretty quickly when you get into air stuff, though, even with the Euro millions. How you doing, Mark, as well? Good to see you in. We've gone off on a little nuclear war tangent there, but it's all connected to the UFO phenomena. Maybe they are, as a lot of people say there, they're stopping us from playing silly buggers and putting the matches in water when we get a little bit too close. Because, again, there have been those number of reports at the time where the button was not just close to being pressed, but actually pressed. And it didn't happen. So maybe it was the UAPs there. Maybe they were playing with the old silos at the right points, like we've also had reports of there. They pop up on Uber. Jesus. We don't even have normal taxis here in the country, let alone Uber. If you want a taxi here in the country, 2 weeks notice if they feel like it. There's like one bloke that, again, if he feels like it, might take you to the airport. It's insane. Got Chinook live on TikTok. Ah, it's cool. And imagine Ubering a helicopter there. That is top tier decadence. He said he was living off grid. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, there's part of me that likes the idea of it, likes the technical challenge of it. I wouldn't like to live the existence, but I think there are actually quite a lot of abandoned forts from the 1800s. You've got a lot your way, Rosetta, down there in Kent. They're mostly just overgrown, and honestly, once that initial blast is out of the way, the fort is the way to go. You know, because it's good. Your biggest threat is civil unrest at that point, and people wanting what you've got. And you're going to need a few square feet, aren't you, of ground to grow some crops if you've not been, totally irradiated. So forts are the way to go. Super interested in the black mold that lives in reactor 4 and seems to need radiation to run. Yeah, that's the one, isn't it, that apparently is eating radiation there. It's like, nature finds a way, doesn't it? So maybe it's not all that bad after all. Maybe we'll all adapt to this black mold. 30 minutes to get to him. I mean, that's the life, isn't it, there? It's venom. Oh, it's like that thing that was going around, wasn't it? We was all talking about that thing that... the alien black mold that was going around. That died as well, didn't it? It's quicker by Chinook than Uber. Not just eating it. It grows towards it. Well, I suppose, wouldn't that be like plants growing towards like a light source there? Because it is their energy source there. It's drawn towards it as well. I see your Jurassic Park reference. You know what, I haven't watched Jurassic Park in a long time. I'm going to have to add that one to my list to revisit there. I think the birds would appreciate seeing their ancestors on the screen there. Phototropic, I love that. Nice big word there. But with radiation there. Radiotropic then? Would that be the word? Hey, there you go. 10 points, Rosetta. Jinx. You can't speak now for the rest of the strip. No, I'm joking. What would we do about it? It is amazing there, isn't it? And only thing that ever gave me nightmares. Really? I mean, it's jumpy, but it wasn't a nightmare one for me. You try and stop me. There is no chance. And Lisa, hello. Good to see you. How are the birdies? They are all right. Although, when they start to but act differently, and you're like, oh my God, what's wrong? Are you ill? So Otis, the cockatiel, decided to sit near me and rest this evening and just to have a little sleep. And I'm like, you don't do this normally. What's up? Are you feeling well? Oh my God. I'm sure he's fine, but yeah. I mean, it was jumpy, but not nightmare-y as well. Good evening, Brad. How are you doing? And is it Easter yet? They have the Easter eggs in the shot. Oh my God, I know that's ridiculous, isn't it? There. A Nightmare on Elm Street, age 8, no problems. And I watched Poltergeist on loop as a kid, but Jurassic Park. So what was it there? Is it just because the things that we don't understand are the things that scare us, really, isn't it? There, and sometimes it's a full justification when you fully understand it. But a lot of times, so like the ghost stuff for me would scare me because, unlike you guys, I don't have a good understanding of how that realm may be operating. So for me, it's all just big, dangerous magic there. But a dinosaur, I mean, yeah, sure, it's bigger, but it still bleeds. You kind of got a grounding in understanding of that. And Otis wanted some daddy time. Maybe. I would like to think that. I'd like to think that. He might have just been on a different perch. But speaking of which, I've just 3D printed a little perch for the other birds. There we go. So I can have him, because I've got to cut that off. It'll go in like that once I've removed the bit. And because they like to sit on your laptop screens whilst you're working, but then they also like to chew your laptop screens, and we've lost a couple of screens that way because it takes a second of not being guarded, and bam, there goes your laptop screen. So I'm going to try and encourage them to sit on this brightly coloured perch, which I'm sure will terrify them at first. So we'll see how that one goes. The T-Rex, well, that is a beast, so I think that's probably quite justified to be scared of that, isn't it, there? Is that going to fit in now, or am I going to do some more trimming of it? But, yeah, perch. Wonder how much that would have cost me at a pet shop. You can tell it's the new toy there. And my name is X, and I'm a satellite Men in Black agent. You are our secret undercover agent there. You've posted some good things recently, actually. Guys, check out Ajax, some of the posts he's done recently as well. Some very interesting angles on the phenomena, or some recent accounts there. And I'm full of film quotes. The problem is, Rosette, I've got to be totally honest, I'm not realising I'm making them. That's how ingrained it is there. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Yeah, at least it's possible. That's the thing there. That's where ghosts freak me out. Although, if I'm ever in the situation where I am haunted, I think the threat is, like, if they keep it up, then I'll die and I'll come and get them. We're on an equal playing field there. I'll see how that works for them. And printing a few perch for the birds. It's rough as ourselves. Well, that also stops them rubbing themselves on it. It's cheap, like the pudgy. Print of a Hawkeye sword. Hey, send me the file. We'll get something printed. Looks nothing like a fish. It took me a second there. That would have been a good joke if I pulled that one out there. If you ever need something repaired, just let me know. It's literally my job to fix stuff. Oh, Brad, see, that's like, when it comes to like the repair stuff, I'm crap. I'm absolutely crap. So, Brad, I probably will be taking you up on that. I mean, as soon as it's not on a button, simple fix there, give them ideas. They don't need any ideas. Tell Harp to turn the heat back on. It was us moaning about it, and really it's been keeping us warm. Yeah. A problem is, I'm just getting flagged anyway. I've given up now. I just don't understand half the stuff there. And the rumours circulating that Trump has information that rivals are prepping for disclosure, and he's completed a first draft on his disclosure script. As US intelligence reports, rivals are trying to get their first, potentially within the week. I want that to be true, Xena. I want that to be so true. Like, I do. Yeah. I hope. Ooh, I hope. Sorry, I'm now thinking about this. Oh God, I can't even get the perch out now. That's it. It's permanently in. I am going to print, though, at some point when I get some silver filament, I'm going to print some like UFO models and satellite models and things. So, but like the ones that people talk about. So when we're referencing on the stream, we can have a visual prop to show what we're talking about there. I think it'd be quite useful. And like the awfulness was for a proper, real reason. Well, that yeah, at least it would. Yeah, there would be some, some positive. Trump, I think he couldn't draft noughts and crosses. Excuse me, guys. When are you making an army of tiny Allens? That when I get some green filament there, Rosetta. It is on the cards to try. It's the modelling that I haven't really started to play with. I had a look at the actual software to start making your own models, and I went, I don't even know what these buttons mean, let alone where to start. Normally I can fumble my way through badly and get the basics in place, but yeah, the actual software, I need to figure that out. But luckily, that's what Pete's department is. He's well good at that, so I'll get those out of him there. We can dream. We've got to live in hope there, Lisa. He did the war out of a boot. And this destruction of the hill. That's a good one. I've not heard that one before there. An Allen invasion version of D&D. That easily done. Yes. I think we could play that. A little round table there. Natural 20. Wait a minute. I'm still dying. What is this? It's Alan as the DM at the head of the table. Just telepathically giving us our orders. That's a great idea, that is. If you are just joining us, we are having a little bit of a side ramble, but we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt. We've got a bigger radio antenna, which is in the garden, pointing up to the night sky there, and as the Earth rotates, it's going to sweep across the night sky, and it's going to be passing over various stars. Hopefully one of them is going to be inhabited and sending us a signal, and if it is, we'll see it on the screen there, because we are checking, or listening, I should say, on a frequency called the hydrogen line. That is the channel on the old radio dial there that scientists theorize that if ET is out there, that is where they put the message. Where the WOW signal was heard back in the 70s, and a number of other signals since there, so that is what we are doing. But if you're new, say hello. Let us know how you feel about the phenomena there. And yes, let us know if you've experienced anything strange as well there. A Toy Story claw machine, but they're all Allens. Ah, yes. That would be. I'm liking that one. I'm regretting not getting the printer that had the multiple coloured thing, so I could do the colouring and stuff. It's all one colour at the minute. That's a good shout though. Never played D&D. I've played it a couple of times. I do struggle with my ADHD, and I also struggle that I just start to wind everybody else up. I don't like following the plan for these things, so that's people don't play with me. But that's a lot of the podcasts that I do at work are sort of D&D play podcasts. And did you see the one about Bigfoot spotted? I didn't see that one, Agent X. Bigfoot spotted in my own garden. I've not seen that one. You have to go and find that and link that one to me. I need to see that one now. As well. And Skinwalker, after Skinwalker is living in Disney World. Oh, that's a place for it to feast, isn't it? Oh, that's like a horror movie setup as well. I feel it be. I like the idea of it, but I ain't got the patience. For it. There have been 6 deaths at Disney and no investigations. Probably because, you got to remember, it's a corporation. They don't want to be found guilty. There, and you see a mysterious man in a dark cloak, and Bob the Goblin. I want to talk to Bob the Goblin. That is me. That is honestly. It's like that, or I'm purposely just trying to wind people up there. Ignorant, not a skinwalker. News on Free Eye. It's me. Might use a Jupiter to slingshot back towards. Oh my God! Up. If that happens, I'm changing my stance on Free Eye. I know it's still weird. I know it's doing things, but I've got a high bar, right? But if it does, I am out of the camp of it's not alien then, fully. I am 100% doing that there. And Pluto, why is Warminster called Warminster? Is there an explanation? So I thought it would have a cool story to that, but looking into it, it's the war comes from the a bastardization of the local river name, which is the Wiley, I think. So the war is for that, and then the Minster is because there's a church here, which is a Minster, and apparently a Minster is basically like a regional hub church or something. So sadly, it's not as cool as it sounds. But ironically, it's a big military town with lots of bases right on the edge of the training area, so the war part does fit. And again, this is the train station that the old civil servants would have got off at in the Cold War when they were being bussed to that bunker as well. And in my country, cash is king, and Disney is super mega king. Yes, I'd love to go once, not because I'm like that into the Disney stuff, but I really appreciate the theming and the product that they've made, and I'd love to go and just kind of experience all of that of it. I don't give 2 figs about the content. Monastery or church in the River Weir. There we go. There, you got it. Perfect there. You can tell you the stuff my dad used to do for work. Really? That is actually pretty cool. And it's very disappointing. I know. But it's the only disappointing thing about the town. That and the lack of a good DIY store. Other than that, it's pretty cool here. Hey, and apparently now we've got Bigfoot too, on top of the aliens. You got trolled by a Jesus cult member. Well, they're normally over on our Tubes account. If you want to go join over there, Agent X, and you can meet some more. And it's still interesting in its own way. Yeah, it's a weird town. It's a very neutral town. It's not one of these really quaint, beautiful English villages that you'd go just for a walk as a scenery. It's not bad. There's a few old buildings and stuff, but it's it's right on that neutral line. And I think if we could push the old alien angle here, a few gift shops, a tea room, house prices will go up. And Universal's got, again, I'd like to do Universal. I've not done any of them as well. I'd never even been to Thorpe Park or anything until I was about 20-something. The principal of the first school of family history. What? I don't even really... What is the first school of family? I think it's probably quite literal, but that sounds very interesting. My dad's a digger driver. Taught me a lot about cups of tea from styrofoam cups, how to swear, and where the nearest trade outlets are for various things. genealogist and heraldologist. Oh my god, I pronounced the last part wrong. That is very fascinating. I could get some deep conversations there. It's fine. I get Fruit Loops everywhere. Cause and effect. And the best thing to do with Fruit Loops is tell them you astral travel. Go back to this. Is Thought Park better than Alton Towers? I've not been. I've only done Thought Park then, which reminds me of it. And it was better than I thought it was going to be. It's the main reason I hadn't been. I discovered I quite liked roller coasters at the time. They don't exist. That's a good angle there. I should. He retrained. He used to work in pharmacological chems and did his PhD. You might go, I mean, Jesus Christ, does he not have rest days? You know, you're meant to like just do one of them things. That's pretty cool there. I'm the only one who has never tried mustard or a bagel. Agent X, you're missing out. Two of those things are bloody amazing there. Alton Towers has incredibly beautiful grounds. Oh, see, I would like to go just to appreciate the product of it there. I had one of those near-death experiences coming back from that Thorpe Park trip. That might be the reason why we didn't do it. Obviously, another timeline took its route there. Aggressively intelligent. What a way to describe that. You're happy with Yorkshire pudding. So, I mean, I like a Yorkshire pudding, but I mean, I'm a big fan of a good bagel there. Now I'm hungry again. When I was 18. I mean, some of the theming there I was very, very impressed by at the time. It's not as exciting as it sounds. As I was on the M25 coming back, and this is when I drive. I tip my own hat here. I was a phenomenal driver. Like, my reaction speeds for everything. I could drive anything, anywhere. Reaction speeds are brilliant. That's why it's such a shame that I had to give it up. But basically, a lorry shed its tyre directly in front of us, and just the full-on lorry tyres just was hurtling straight towards us at full speed, and there was no time to manoeuvre or go anywhere. So it was a full-on... right, we're going for this. You know, if it's me versus the tyre there. So I just straight through and bounced the tyre off onto the lay-by. But I was like, that could have gone very differently. Those tyres are very big. There. So it's not that exciting there. And I need to do things. Oh, my God. Kate, things are overrated. You're doing a thing now. You're here. You're leading the charge in the community. And I nearly lost my head on Rita, Queen of Speed. I've not been on that one. And Final Destination moment, but with Ty, yeah, that was it. At the time, it was one of those, there was no panic. Leanne was very, very panicked at the time. But I was just like, I'm going for it. Probably just the ignorance of being a bit younger. Definitely wouldn't be like that nowadays. I didn't even dent the car. That was the insane thing. It's as if... I don't know, meant to a different dimension. Somebody's looking out for us there. Definitely explains a lot here, my life choices. No, I don't. It's a weird, it's a neurological thing, but I mean, they've changed the diagnosis many, many times, so I'm very, very skeptical. Like, every time you go to a specialist, I also have that thing. I'm like, are you really, guys? Chance of having all these things? But yeah, it's basically my balance is gone, vertigo, dizziness and stuff like that. No spatial awareness and like reaction speeds as well. So yeah, it's not very good driving. Ironically, though, they told me for years that I actually should keep driving because I was just a bit anxious to keep driving, you know, and then you get used to it again. But I wasn't anxious before, and no, actually, it's very dangerous to keep driving, so I don't. Terrible wind. You think it might pick it up? Give it a go. We'll listen out there. Do it in a sort of southerly direction there, Tudor. And right, folks, heading off there. Hey up, well, good to see you, and we'll catch you tomorrow. As always, I hope you have a good day. Thank you for joining us there. And I haven't, of course, that nothing. Like, nothing's... again, one of the explanations I got was just like, bad luck. It happens at an age, and sometimes it can just go. But it depends what's technically causing it, and I have some very, very interesting theories, but I've had no luck with it. I've been able to minimise it, but not to a point where it's safe to drive there. Yeah, I think so, Pluto. But they're all very confident. They're all very confident they've got the right answer with these things there. Yeah, it was random. Although it was after a highly stressful period in my life. You know, like one of those couple of years where everything bad that can happen does happen all at once, and maybe it's a sort of a psychological popping out, or just a physical burning out of something. I don't know, but I think that's probably where it lies. So I'm partly hopeful then that if it's a software error, I can fix it. I just haven't figured out the way to do it yet, though. So I've always had spatial awareness problems, and I don't know why. I mean, this is I'm hoping that, if I can understand this a bit more, maybe we can figure some more things out as a group. But yeah, like I never had them. Like, it was spatial awareness was perfect. Like, I could always avoid things. Even subconsciously, it was like a ridiculous sort of level of skill for it, and then it just went. And So somebody did bring up the point to me that I might actually just have the average person's level of spatial awareness and attention and reaction speeds now, but because it's such a contrast, I'm stressed by it. And I'm like, actually, maybe. I think it's still a bit worse. But it's a massive lot. Yeah, Pluto, that is it's been 5-6 years now, I think, since I've totally given up. And like to get your head around how the world is different, because you think about how far you can drive and where you can park and all those things. And yeah, it took me years to stop thinking that way, and it's the world is so much smaller. But you get on with it. I mean, I'm lucky that if that's my bag for when it comes to illnesses. I mean, a lot of people get things a lot worse, don't they? So I try and remain grateful and stuff. Yeah, and it's a weird one. And it's funny for me, because what happens when you get stressed normally? That's when you're stressed normally, right? You start to catch yourself, don't you, on door handles and things. It never happens normally, but when you're stressed. So for me, it feels like it's all connected. It's like an exaggerated version of that and stuff there. Oh, thank you, Kate, there for the reminder. I keep longing it off, actually, so I'm going to run out soon because I haven't done it quick enough. So hopefully tomorrow I'll remember to reorder the 1,000 of them there. Possibly. I've had so many tests and scans and stuff like that. I cannot remember if they did that one at the time. But the problem is, it's trying to get those sorts of tests and stuff, because when they think it's all the other things, and they put you down that treatment for a few years. And to be honest, I've totally gone off of the medical side of it now. I spent so much money, so much time trying to solve it down that road, and they just kept leading me to dead ends. So I'm now I'm trying to muddle through in my own ways with it. And as the star come round, we've been sounding different for a reason. Yes, we are. So actually, we've got them all in range now, and actually they're all right in the middle now. So how long has it been sounding different for it? Because they would have been in this middle zone, so good for a reminder there, for at least 10-15 minutes there, I think. I'm out of honk, Rosette. That's the official diagnosis. I'm out of honk. I like that. I'm trying, Pluto. If I say it, maybe I'll feel it. It definitely wasn't for a good few years. But and I wonder if it's instinctually linked to your vagus nerve, and vascular syncope. I've heard of the last one. That does ring a bell there. It could be. I want to hear the theories. Honestly, I think it's ultimately speaking, I think that we massively underestimate the software side of our brain, the psychology of things. And things, and I'm very much feeling that there's something that's been miswired, probably during that stressful event there, to perceive threats and danger that's just on. And then when you're in that state, your body's incredibly drained, and therefore you're less likely to recover, because you just don't have the ATP energy for that, because you're in threat mode all of the time. Even if you're not conscious with it, at a cellular level you could be in it. And I think it's something around that. So I'm trying to figure out, well, what is it that I'm still perceiving to be a threat, and can I resolve that, and then go, oh, my shoulders, I've got a lighter there. And what year did this happen? Good question. So it would have been... So the symptoms came in quite intensely. It was actually, ironically, around the time I met Leanne, cause and effect. So the poor thing, she got me for 6 months as this confident person that could do anything, or thought he could do anything, and drive and all that sort of stuff. Ran my own business and everything. And so she got, oh, he sounds great. And then literally 6 months ago, I think it all kind of caught up with me. So that would have been 2011 or something like that. But they told me to keep driving, so I drove until 2019, just limping through. So around that sort of time there. So yeah, about 10 minutes, that perfectly aligns then, B, for there. Kickstart dormant autoimmune. Well, it's funny on the autoimmune side of things, yeah, because I have the family history of that as well. So like, I think there's probably something along those lines. And acupuncture is meant to help with a lot of things. So I'm actually starting to, I think, open up to a lot of that other sort of stuff like that there. And I'm one of these people that unless I can get my head around how it works, then it's not going to, like, I won't allow it to, like, my brain won't kind of get my way around that. And so therefore a lot of things I've not given a fair chance previously, but it's on my list to kind of open up some of those other things sort of now. So we'll see how it does there. That's the thing, isn't it? Mental stress does do physical damage, and the people don't really tell you that a lot of the time. You know, they definitely keep them in Camp A and Camp B, but there's a strong connection. And the explanation that I give to people that don't quite get it, because they're like, oh, it's just mental stress or something, is to go, well, look, if your computer, and this is a very bad analogy here, if your computer has a virus, right, and that virus is doing stuff in the background that's therefore, you know, keeping your CPU running more often, doing its virusy business or whatever it might be there, and, you know, that's wearing out your hours there on your CPU, because it's only got a certain life expectancy, but because it's hotter, those fans are going to be whirring, right? And then eventually those fans are going to burn out because they've only got a life cycle that's going to be, you know, that's going to be cut short because of that extra load, because of the software-based virus. And the body is very similar, I think, as well. I think we can definitely pay those prices. Oh my God, yeah. But they're in cahoots. This is it. Maybe, Rosetta. It's just we're looking too modern with this. We've got to go back to the Victorian era where they were just going to put in arsenic in our tea or something. That's what's going on. So Pluto, and sorry to open up this kind of worms. Have you respect? Oh no, Pluto, fine. I apologise to everybody else that doesn't want to hear that sort of side of things. But like for me, I'll talk about anything. Even if we're here to talk about aliens, people are going, what's this about? But no, I'm fine talking about all that sort of stuff there. Hopefully it's not too boring for you guys. Agree with needing to know. My dad had acupuncture with a small electric pulses and sent through and helped him tons. Really? Oh, I'm sorry to hear. That is very, very interesting. I definitely have to add that to my list to try, because I don't think it's one I've even tried at all with that. But no, the needing to know is ridiculous. So when I was driving, trying to explain this to people, like literally, you know, when, I don't know if you're right, generational thing, but definitely when me and all of the other people of my generation were passing their test when you're like 17 or 18 or whatever it is, you know, you'd go, oh, your friends passed the test, the novelty, so you'd all just go for drives for the sake of driving and being young. And so when I passed the test, it's like, okay, let's go for a drive. Go for a drive doesn't mean anything to me. I need a specific location like that, and it just would not compute. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't turn the key. I need to know where I'm going. So like, and I'm like that in every area. If I don't know, I cannot function it. You know, I cannot execute command. And never passed my test, and now I'm not allowed to. Oh God, I mean, that's the other thing at the minute. I need to. A part of it is now realising it's a bit more like this. I want it to be fully resolved, so I don't have to then mess around and do any retests. Because oh my God, it's horrendous. Leanne only passed a year or so ago, and it was even harder for her than it was for me. Like all the loopholes now and stuff, and it's just wouldn't want to do that to it there. Yes. I used to be all right. I'm not these days. I'm the boring one now. Have you done something different? So no interference. I said, Lee, very good question, but you're right. No interference, and there's nothing in the environment. So I noticed when I came on, we are not getting the environmental interference spike that is normally around this sort of area. Everything is the same. The software the same. The settings the same. Everything's plugged in, turned off, turned on is the same as far as I can tell. So I've no idea there as well. Oh, Xena, where are those messages gone? I can't see those. And desperately need to do your lessons there and been putting it off for too long. Honestly, if you get to it's for me anyway, when I passed, it was life-changing. It was amazing. It opens up so many doors, but it's just getting harder and harder now. It's so bloody expensive. And does anyone on here have a 20-year passport? God, I probably not. That's the answer for me now. So someone said there's a 20-year one. Yeah, no, they always come around to, not that I use those, but your stream passport there, Agent X, if you keep reminding me to stamp it, now that's 22 years, so you can't beat that there. Tilting to just do automatic. Oh, well, the automatic is one of those things. I liked manual driving. I like to feel it and have that little level of control. But I had to borrow somebody's car that was an automatic once, and I went, oh, actually, this is nice. Oh, heated seats, this is nice. I used to drive old Land Rovers and stuff most of the time, and back when they weren't trendy. So they were just old, rusty farm vehicles. Now they're worth a bloody ton. That's ridiculous. No drive, only ADHD. Exactly. And, Pluto, you're off. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll be back on tomorrow. You never know, maybe we will get a Skywatch in as well. But brilliant to have you in there tonight. We'll be off very shortly ourselves. God, I've got so much to do. Still got to go to bed for work. There, and thank you for feeding Alan. Ooh, one last time.
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
There, 22 light years. There we go. And does the thing you passport cover me for multi-dimensions? Oh, that's a good question. I have to ask Alan on that. He says no. No, it's just the 4 dimensions we operate in there. And good night, Lee, as well. There. The leaf-sprung suspension, if you can call it leaf-sprung suspension. And if it's raining inside too. Yeah. I do. I like a good Land Rover. I need a passport exclusive with multi-dimensional stickers there. Yeah. So when you followed us on the interdimensional TikTok there, Agent X, you get a stamp for that one too. I bet we've probably forgotten to stamp half of yours. You guys, you've got to remind us to do the stamps. So I'm definitely forgetting there. Oh. And Big Bear, hello. Thank you for the likes there. Do appreciate that, guys. It is those likes and those shares that do help us reach more and more like-minded people there, getting more eyes and minds on the old phenomena. So the more we can all piece this puzzle together. But we're doing a live alien radio signal hunter tonight there. We're searching the stars, hoping to hear ET say hello. As the Earth rotates, our dish is going to sweep across the night sky. Currently, we are over a star called Mirzam, one called Sirius, which is very close by, Weezan, Adara, and Aldura there. Very interesting range of stars. Said all the way going from 8 light years to 1800 light years. That's quite the range. So let's see if we get it. Apparently that background noise is changing, so let's see if we can notice a difference there. But yeah, hopefully we might get a little spike. Should be a nice clear signal from ET saying hello. Oh, did you see the new video from Witness video? I didn't. I saw it come up, but I haven't seen it yet, so I need to do that one. And you're doing that, and I'm making tomato mac and cheese at this hour. I will be making food after this. I'm also hungry. The future kids when I travel forward, get your stamps there. And Big Bear, how are you doing there? Have you ever picked up anything when listening? Any unexplained spikes? So Big Bear, sadly we haven't yet. So these are quite rare, but they are getting less rare. So it used to be the case, like the WOW signal, for example, things like that. You know, it'd be once every few decades. But now we're at a point, I think, where our equipment is getting as a species so much more sensitive. We are hearing these anomalous, strange signals, you know, multiple times a year. So we're hoping that. You know, the more we do our statistical odds, we'll detect something. But there have been a number of interesting detections. So you've got the WOW signal from back in the late 70s there. And it is very good. It's a very clearly technological signal there, apparently not coming from Earth, so it's a very awesome signal. But there's some recent ones that apparently are coming from our closest stellar neighbour there, Proxima Centauri. So it's a very interesting area, but it's quite rare. I'd like to start lying and say yes, we get one every week, but sadly not. But we tell you what we do. We do get there we go. We do a skywatch when the night skies are clear. That's what it looks like. We see all the weird and wonderful things flying around in the night sky. So that one we tend to see something strange every stream. I think just last night we were seeing some very weird flashing objects up there that, you know, can't be satellites, can't be space junk, you know, and can't be planes or things like that. So we tend to see the action on those ones there. Have you ever seen anything strange, Big Bear? And we scroll through. No, we're up to date on everything there. Well, we're only going to be on here for another 5 minutes, I think, tonight. will come off just before midnight, I think. Give me a chance to get some chores done there. What's that? You're definitely getting blocked? What? What for? What have you done now? Probably are. Alan's nodding his head there. At least you're not trying to make me sing there, Agent X there. Terrible rudeness. It's rather excellent rudeness, Alan thought. Try guided meditation for sleep. It always helps me. I'd love to. I with meditation, I really struggle. Like the ADHD in me, I struggle to sit still. My mind just goes off getting busy. I keep thinking I need to like practice it, because I think it's probably like a muscle. You need to build it up, and I'm not giving it that chance. But I'm just so bad at it. But I need to start doing something there. Morphine works. Yes, it does. It does work. It's the only thing that I found works. But they cut me off years ago, sadly. A very long time ago. And once you've changed your doctors 3 times to keep getting prescriptions, they cotton on what you're after. And really, it was a true delight. They got the good stuff. I see. I find it didn't with me. It made me a bit worse previously, those. But then again, I do everything to excess. So whether it is eating, purchasing, I can't be trusted. Nah, I saw it and I went to Agent X nearly. I can't mention, but the electronic devices that they give you, like there, when they first came out, I thought, oh, that might be a solution, I'll try them. But the problem is they don't burn out like a regular one. So what I would just do is end up like having 10 times the nicotine consumption and then feeling really sick. Because the initial stopping of burning out didn't happen. So monkey see, monkey do. I'm having to read your messages now. Are you trying that? One day you'll get it, and then we can release an album of all of the times you've actually tricked me to sing. Alan didn't do his bloody Christmas song, did he? In the end, I'll have to see if we can get that ready for next year. Release his Christmas number 12 song. Oh, that got me. Right, guys. You're trying. Right, I'm going to come off now. A, so I don't sing, but B, I'm starting to yawn. So I don't want to pass that one down to you guys. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll be on tomorrow there at 10 p.m, I think, again. And yeah, we'll be probably doing this. But if not, we will be doing a skywatch, hopefully, if those skies are clear. You've been awesome as always. Thank you always for your awesome comments, your knowledge, your messages there, your questions, and your things. Yeah, you're tapping away and sharing the stream as well there. At Rosetta, I think it was going to be called All I Want for Christmas is Your Undying... oh my god, what's the word? I've lost words. It's the right train to go on. Oh my god, we'll have to remember what it was. I've lost it all now. My brain's gone to sleep. Undivided? No, what was it? Undivided attention and undivided admiration and loyalty, or something like that. It was. We wrote it. He was just having trouble singing it. But, you know, he'll be practicing on it this year. But, yeah, guys, thank you again. And we'll see you all tomorrow there. And thank you again, Gifters, Summers, Patreons as well there for helping us improve the stream as well. Extra love. And, yeah, good night. And we'll see you on the other side, guys. Bye-bye.